exiting the market? I ask that because a recent Realtor.com article titled "Investors are selling at a record share of homes to cut their losses, especially in these 5 states," suggests that there's a mass exodus of investors from the real estate market, from the residential real estate market. And the fact is, the data in their article proves that there's not, that investors are doing just fine. Now, it is true that the amount of homes that investors are selling are slightly elevated. And the reason is as rents start to decline a little bit, and as home values soften and as expenses increase, the economics don't work in high cost markets with very low margin for investors. And so they're selling, they're wisely selling. But in markets that are affordable, markets with lower home values but higher rent to loan value, then it's a great opportunity for investors. In those markets, they're doing just fine. So let's look at some of the data from this article. So investors' sale volume was up 5.2% year over year in 2024, yet still below 2021 and 2022. And investors made up 13% of all home sales last year, which is slightly up from 2023. And in fact, in most states, investors bought more homes than they sold. That sounds pretty healthy to me. And so they're not selling, it's not panic selling, it's strategic selling. It's just the economics in high cost states, high cost markets like the coast, it doesn't make sense to hold property right now. Now, here's the top 5 states where investors sold homes. Number 1, Missouri. 16.7% of all home sales in Missouri were sold by investors. Oklahoma, 16.7%. Georgia, 15.9%. Kansas, 14.3%. And Utah, 14.3%. And then the 5 states where investors bought the most homes were Missouri, 21.2%. Oklahoma, 18.7%. Kansas, 18.4%. Utah, 18%. And in Georgia, they accounted for 17.3% of all homes bought. And so that's pretty vibrant. In those low-cost markets, investors buy 20% of the properties. That's pretty dang healthy. And when it stops to pencil out, investors represent about 15% of the sales market. Kind of makes sense. Now, here's a couple other takeaways from the article. By the way, I'll show you a picture of the article real quick. Here's a couple of other notable thoughts from the article. In 2024, small investors accounted for 270,000 homes that were sold, while large firms only sold 123,800 homes. So it's the small investors that are being more nimble, reacting to market forces, where larger firms have a longer term, a more long-term hold strategy. So when you got to watch the headlines. It's a pretty healthy, it's a healthy investor market out there. I did a post on LinkedIn today. Check it out. I appreciate you giving me some of your time, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks so much.